Hi, I'm Angela, the Diligent Woman from thediligentwoman.com, and I am here today to give you just a real quick shout out about ways that you can teach my new Bible study guide to be a handmaid of the Lord. So if you're looking to be a teacher, or you're going to go through the study and then you want to share it with somebody else, here are some ideas for ways that you can do that. The most obvious one is the standard setup. It has 26 lessons in it, doing one lesson a week. It's going to take you about 6 months to do that. The lessons are deep, especially if you do the study builders that are included, and you're going to need some time. So doing more than one lesson a week is going to be tough. I have taught it that way. I've taught it in a 4-month period where we did one lesson on Sunday in a congregational Bible class for teen girls. We did one lesson on Sunday and another one on Wednesday. It was rough. We got it covered, and the girls got to talk about everything, but we really needed the extra time. If we could have had 1 week per lesson to take it deeper, but you can do it. So that's one way. Just go the standard way, take the book as it is, one lesson right after the other, do the study builders as backup and review. The second way that you can use this material is to use the study builders alone. I actually like this as a review. Say you've gone through and you've done all of the lessons without doing the study builders. Or you could have done the study builders the first time. But then a second time you come back to the material. Same book, even if it's the same girls. Come back in another 6-month period. They bring back their old book and use those study builders to be your focus. Okay, we know what these lessons teach us. So now let's dive a little deeper and pull out those scriptures. Find more scriptures. These are the scriptures that were in the lesson, so now let's add to them. This is my study builder for the lesson on Sarah. And I have all of these lessons that teach me how to listen to Sarah and to learn from her example. Great. What can I go to in Scripture that can expound on all of those ideas? If I learn from Sarah how to be patient, because being impatient and trying to do things my own way gets you into trouble, what verses can I find that back that up? And where can I put those into my study builder to continue teaching me how to be the kind of person that I should be and not letting my age be an excuse to not teach others? To know more about that, you need to watch the video about the study builders. Okay. The third way that you could teach this is as even maybe going outside of a group of people that you know. Go to your local library and offer it as a class. You could go and offer that as it's a public service for them to come and take the class. You can donate your time and share it with them so that they can get those benefits from that. In that event, if you're going to have a lot of people who are unfamiliar with Scripture, the study builders would be intimidating. So you would just start with the questions, but bring it down to a simpler format to get them started. You don't have to cover every single question. You're just hitting the high points for them. And a fourth way would be to do 6 months in the book, 6 months in the study builders, or do all of the women that are in the book. There's a lot of women covered in the book. There's several lessons that I've got multiple women on, and looking back on it, each one of those women really needs a lesson to herself. So there are some of those lessons that it is hard to cover in one setting. Take a session and spread out your time and just study those women. Then take the next section and go back and get all of the character studies and the studies on Song of Solomon and dating. Take those lessons, and then at the end of the second session, bring it all together. We learned this about these women, and we learned this about how we need to behave. How did this woman show me how to behave that way, and how do I go forward from here? So there's lots of ways that you can do that. One of the fun things that I think is a fun just add-on for any lesson, any program, I guess, that you're doing, is to have your students create an action plan or a commitment to do for a week and then report back. Kind of the type of thing where you're studying about true beauty. What's the definition of true beauty? So what would be an action plan that I could do this week where I am working on not listening to the negative, all those negative words that come from social media and television and movies that is Satan telling me those lies? What's that action plan that I can put in this week to that? Is it just turning them off? I'm gonna go through a spell where I'm not doing any social media, I'm not watching any TV, so I'm not being inundated with I'm not good enough, you have to look this way or you're not pretty, you have to be this tall, you have to be this size, all of those things. You have to have this kind of job, make this kind of money, have this many kids, but don't have too many kids. There's so many things, so many lies. But make an action plan for those who are in your class. Doesn't matter how old they are. To go and spend a week applying what they learned from the lesson. They write down in class, this is what I'm going to do. They do that for the week, and then they report back the next week what their results were. If they had a hard time sticking to it, if they found that those negative words were increased because they were trying to avoid them, that happens too. It can just make for a very interesting interchange within the context. So those are a few ideas on ways that you can do this lesson. You don't have to do it with one type of group of women at a time. You don't need to just do older women together, younger women together. Mix them up. Let the older women teach the younger women and vice versa. Through the material. Everybody sees that material through different eyes. They see it through their own experiences, and they see it through the age and the season that they are in. So an older person can be reminded to be joyful and enthusiastic and energetic. A young person can be reminded to slow down and take it easy and make good use of the time that you have, because you're not guaranteed to have all the time you think you're going to get. And some of that comes from wisdom. Some of that just comes from study. Some of that comes from both of those things happening at the same time. So there's a lot of ways to make use of material. These are just a few that I have. I haven't even been able to use them all yet. So let me know if you come up with a different way that you use the material, or if you used one of these and you really liked it. I would love to hear about it. Again, I am Angela, the Diligent Woman. Would love to see you over at the website, thediligentwoman.com, and thank you for being here.